organization, how are you not close with the stars of the organization? And the dilemma right now in the WNBA is that the star players, the Asias, the Stewies, the Sabrinas, the Caitlin Clarks, they don't have a good enough relationship with the leader. The Napheesas, they don't have a good enough relationship with Cathy Engelbert. She came in and she wants all the credit for everything, but there's not enough communication between the leader and between the players. And now you got to revolt. Now everybody in the W is like, hold on, we want you up out of there. But I think the best thing I heard is, how can you negotiate if you don't communicate? And the dilemma is there's not even a negotiation, a quality negotiation right now between the players and between the W, because there's not quality communication right now between the players and between the executives.
All right, this is wild. The WNBA just erupted. Cathy Engelbert is now at the center of an all-out storm. Fans, players, and media are demanding answers. She hasn't been removed, but the pressure is off the charts. Engelbert once suggested Caitlin Clark should feel grateful for the WNBA. Now that remark is being dragged through the headlines. Everything's changed. The league's in freefall. But before we dig in, did this backlash come too late? Because if we're honest, Engelbert might have shouldered this long ago.
You need to resign. Period. Reason I say that, doggy, is because when a player, any player, but especially one of that magnitude, attacks you publicly like that, that weak-ass statement Commissioner Engelbert gave is not good enough. And I'm going to say it. It was a weak-ass statement. Could you imagine somebody directing comments and criticisms at you, taking conversations they've had with you directly and telling the world what you said? And did you see that statement Commissioner Engelbert gave? She basically provided no defense of herself. I don't have the statement right directly in front of me, y'all.
It's mischaracterization.
A mischaracterization.
She was disheartened.
I'm disheartened.
So here's the news breaking right now. Cathy Engelbert is under fire. There's no official removal yet, but calls for her resignation are echoing across the league. Criticism over her comments about Caitlin Clark has lit a wildfire. The same commissioner meant to protect the sport's biggest star is now being questioned by almost everyone.
Let me clarify first, because it's proxy season, right? No CEO do you just put the base pay in there. You put their bonus, you put their stock options, you put everything. Caitlin has the ability to make up to $500,000 just in WNBA wages this year. So, of course, they're just looking at a base which is collectively bargained. And actually, it's low because she's the number one pick. She'll make a little more than that. But she also has millions and millions of dollars of endorsements. She's actually, because she declared to become pro, her endorsements are higher in dollar value. She has a global platform now, not just a U.S. platform. So she's going to do just fine, as will the top players in the league, as every league does. Also, there's comparisons to the men. Those men's leagues are 75 to 120 years old. We're tipping off our 28th season. I would say if you looked at them 28 seasons in, we're further ahead. But I realize we still have a lot of work to do. And it's all...
Remember her constant talk about protecting the ecosystem? This is the same commissioner who once suggested Clark should thank the league. All while letting players throw elbows, referees mute their whistles, and fans rage in disbelief. Players have loudly called foul. Fans cried injustice. Engelbert brushed it off. Now league leadership is forced into damage control. The tension is undeniable. When players like Napheesa Collier openly criticize you, Sophie Cunningham calls you delusional, Lexie Hull backs the revolt, and fans threaten boycotts, your position becomes impossible to maintain.
Thank you all for your time today. I have prepared a statement that I would like to make before taking any questions. All right. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates.
And then came the moment that started the inferno. Napheesa Collier used her exit interview to go on offense. She accused league leadership of being the worst in professional sports, claiming Engelbert minimized injuries ignored concerns, and pretended refereeing crises didn't exist. The most explosive claim. Collier alleged Engelbert told her that Caitlin Clark should feel grateful for the WNBA, a remark Engelbert has denied outright. Still, that allegation alone lit the fuse.
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them.
Come on, Cathy, seriously? Caitlin Clark was filling arenas in college. She had sponsorships lined up before ever entering the WNBA. She pulled more viewership than some pro playoff games. And you told her she should be grateful? That's like telling Taylor Swift she should thank a karaoke bar for launching her career. That audacity is exactly what forced this crisis. Clark didn't just boost the league, she breathed life into it. She's the reason attendance is up, media deals expanded, eyes turned to women's basketball. Yet Engelbert allowed games where Clark was battered, then cracked down on anyone who criticized officiating. Fever's head coach even got fined for supporting Cheryl Reeves' pushback. Coaches silenced. Players muzzled. Fans labeled toxic. It's no wonder leaders are scrambling now.
She's got a $16 million deal because of the platform the WNBA gave her. It is the single dumbest thing ever said by a sports commissioner in American sport.
So let's unpack the real stakes. This isn't only about Clark. It's about a league in crisis under Engelbert's reign. She struggled to connect with players, failed to rein in referees, and operated like PR was the priority over performance. Fans have cried foul all year on officiating. Players demanded accountability. But Engelbert insisted, we have the best officials in the world. That's the same core of refs missing blatant fouls and letting chaos play out unchecked. Becky Hammon even said if the NBA had this chaos, fights would break out nightly. But in the WNBA, the narrative was drama. Drama is popular, until your stars are injured and ratings plummet. Attendance beyond Clark's games flatlined. Viewership dropped for non-Clark matchups. And Engelbert kept the PR spin going. That's why league leadership is scrambling now. This moment isn't about removing Engelbert, not yet. It's about deciding whether she will lead or step aside. Clark is the league's lifeline. She's the engine behind media deals, sponsors, and packed arenas. Without her, WNBA risks slipping back into the shadows. Engelbert underestimated that, and now she might pay the price. Still, don't mistake this for a clean fix. There's no hero here yet. This is reaction to crisis, not resolution. The money's at stake, sponsors are nervous, fans are volatile, rival leagues are circling. If Clark ever walked away, the damage would be irreparable. The leadership knows that. Now, the question isn't who replaces Engelbert. It's whether the league insists she stay or chooses new direction. Whoever fills that seat must rebuild trust, overhaul officiating, and revalue player relationships. This moment is raw. The fallout has just begun. Players like Sophie and Lexie backing Collier? That wasn't random. It was a stand of full revolt. They sensed weakness at the top and struck. And if Engelbert still clings to power, she does so amid a house of embers. This is not just about criticism. It's about survival. This whole story comes down to one brutal truth. The WNBA is standing at a crossroads. Cathy Engelbert is under fire. Players have spoken up. Fans are demanding answers. And even the league itself admits change is overdue. She hasn't been removed, but the pressure is rising fast. At the center of it all is a single spark. The allegations from Napheesa Collier that exposed the gap between players and leadership over officiating, safety, and respect. Engelbert has denied some of what was said, but the damage is done. Trust is broken. The tension is real. The league's answer so far, forming a state-of-the-game committee and promising reform, might calm the noise for now, but it's not enough. The real test is whether those promises turn into action before the next season tips off, because patience is running out. Sponsors are watching. Networks are nervous. Rival leagues are circling. If real change doesn't come, this could be remembered as the moment the WNBA lost control of its own story. So what happens next? Does Engelbert repair the rift and lead through the storm? Or does this backlash grow into something that forces a complete reset? One thing's for sure, the next move decides everything. Players have spoken. Fans have roared. The commissioner has promised change, but promises don't win games. They don't fix the whistles, and they don't rebuild trust. The next chapter of women's basketball is being written right now. Stay tuned, because whatever happens next won't just shape a season, it will define the future of the league.